This episode is sponsored by Anchor. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain it to you really quickly. To start off, it's 100% free, and there are creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will then distribute your podcast for you so it could be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and many more platforms. In fact, you can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. If you're interested, download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
Hey, lovely people!
Welcome to the first episode of the Unraveling The World Podcast.
Alright, so for today's first episode, we're going to be talking about school during the pandemic.
Yeah, and I think we'll be able to give really good insight because we're high schoolers and we're going through it every day.
So let's get the episode started. Before we even get into it, how's school going for you guys?
Honestly, now it's been going pretty well, but if you were to ask me in the beginning of the year or almost end of last year, I'd say that it's been going pretty scary because this is something that I never expected to hit us, and to adjust to this new norm, it was pretty difficult. So yeah,
I definitely agree, because at the beginning, during Marchish, we were kind of just hit with, we're going to have virtual school, we're going to be turning in assignments, tests, all online, and I was like, what's happening? Because, we've never really done anything like that before, but I feel like now I've adapted to it and I've gotten used to it. How's it going for you, Marlena?
School's actually going pretty good for me right now. I mean, it was hard in the beginning, but I've definitely adjusted to it. And I think that it has its pros and cons, but I don't know which one outweighs which one, because see, the pros are that we're relaxing now. We might be a little less stressed than we actually would be, but the thing is, the cons are that we might not be as prepared for next year, because we rely so much on the fact that, it's virtual school.
I honestly, even though we're relying on the fact that it's virtual school, but I honestly feel like it's also the teachers, not to be blaming them or anything, but the teachers are taking it so much light on us, they're being more lenient, which is making us kind of not prepared for the coming years, because when we come back, which will possibly be next year, they're gonna go back to their old ways and just give us 20 tests in a week or something like that, and just pressure us. But it's high school, so I don't know, I'm not really sure if I have to complain about that or not, but it's just hard.
I agree with that, because some of my teachers, they're like, you can turn it in late, it's okay. But, if we were actually in quote-unquote normal school, teachers would take off points for lateness, and they would be like, you have to turn it in on time. And they're being understanding, which is really nice of them, but I feel like we're just getting a feel of the wrong thing, And once we go back, we're going to get a sense of reality, and it's going to be like, oh my God, why is it so different?
Yeah, and I feel like this is not our fault at all, but it's not...
Or the teacher's fault.
Yeah, it's not the teacher's fault at all, it's just the way, it's just what's happening right now. It's just, I don't even know how we could fix this issue,
Another scary part is sometimes I'll honestly be taking tests on my bed. Can you imagine that's so scary. I'm taking tests from my bed right now, but in the future I'll actually have to go to school, and I'm kind of taking it for granted, and I'm not putting the pressure on myself because I don't have to, but
yeah. So it seems to me like you both think that virtual school, not easier, you think that virtual school is better or easier than normal school, right?
It's school, so it's I wouldn't say it's school-wise, study-wise and everything, I wouldn't say it's too easier, but compared to regular school, I'd definitely say, it's much easier.
Yeah, I agree. In fact, I would even go to the conclusion that my 8th grade year was much harder than my freshman year.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Because, I don't know, I guess there's less stress. But the thing is that when I'm in less stress and there's less pressure, I personally do better. So, that, I want to talk about this, my parents, they have been able, I'm sure this has happened to many people, and it's there are certain parents that stress you and pressure you, but there are certain parents friends that motivate you.
Yeah.
I think my parents have switched from that pressure to the motivation over quarantine because they've learned and they understand that now. And I think under pressure, I mean, it varies for everyone, it varies, but for me, I work better under less pressure.
Yeah, definitely. That works for me too. So my parents have never, thank God, have never like pressured me to like go into like sports or anything that I've never been interested in. Like all the things that I'm doing right now is solely because I've wanted to do them. And I've been so grateful for that because I honestly feel like I thrive when I'm doing something that I'm actually passionate about, or like I'm doing something that I actually enjoy, you know?
Yeah, I completely agree because I know a lot of my friends, when I say a lot, like their parents are like, you have to be a lawyer, you have to be an engineer,
Yeah.
you have to take all honors, which is so like, I'm not like, it's just like kind of, you're forced to do something you don't want to do, and I feel like you can't thrive in an environment, when you don't want to do something, are you really going to be, maybe you'll be good at it, but are you really going to enjoy what you're doing? Because imagine having to do like a job for the rest of your life that you never picked that job and you never had any interest of doing it, like I just feel like, but my parents in that kind of a sense, they're super understanding. Like both of my parents have told me, do whatever you want, just be successful at what you're doing and be happy with what you're doing, and I'm really grateful for that.
Yeah, because I feel like at the end of the day, they just want us to be happy, and so like if you're gonna, and so knowing that, I feel like knowing that the end result, my parents just want me to be happy and like in my way, like successful, I've honestly put it on myself to know that I want to make them happy one day, and so I feel like if it was like a task almost for me to make them happy, I would never do it. Like I've never like worked hard for like school or anything, so yeah,
definitely. But I just wanted to ask a quick question, like kind of sidetracking, but not really, I guess. Do you guys think that once we go back in school, people are gonna have like a really hard time, like once we go back in school?
I mean, I think it varies for everyone because I in my opinion, I think maybe it doesn't apply to everyone, but I think that the introverted people, they're enjoying virtual school like way more, and the extroverted people are like they're not enjoying this at all, and I feel like those extroverted people, they're gonna enjoy school much more once they're in school, and those introverted people are gonna like, I don't know, struggle,
Yeah, as someone who's, I wouldn't call myself an introvert, but I definitely wouldn't call myself an extrovert. But like, because I don't like to socialize with too many people. But like knowing that like quarantine, like everything was not too bad on me, like I was doing fine. But like I realized, like I was going on a walk the other day, and while on my walk I just met like this old lady, and so we just like we stood like 6 feet apart and everything. We were just talking about our days and everything, and like about the weather. And after it was like a short conversation, and after I came home and I kind of realized how much I missed that. But it was kind of weird, like it's kind of weird coming from me because I'm not I'm not a person who likes to socialize too much.
Yeah, no, definitely. And kind of relating to what you said, I feel like before quarantine, I never, like not never, like I used it to like call my parents and stuff, but I wouldn't rely on my phone that much, I just use it to like call my mom and be like, oh yeah, where are you? Or like if she calls me, I just pick up. But now I feel like, and then during my free time, I'd go out, bike with my friends, go to the playground, play basketball with my brother. Like, mainly I'd be outside, my parents would literally have to force me to come inside, be like, come inside, like have food and stuff. But now they're like forcing me to go outside because I'm literally attached to my phone 24/7 because we're in front of a screen for like 6 hours. And on top of that, we're using our phones, and yeah, we are teenagers, like we do that, but
because we're also
teens,
pandemic,
it just become worse.
Also, like teens, like because we're teens, we rely on social media and like on our phones and computers like as a form of entertainment. So when we're like isolated inside, that's all we're gonna do, and that kind of just multiplies. And on top of that, we wake up and less than an hour later we're just gonna sit in front of our screens anyway, in like listening to our teacher like teach or whatever. But like and for like this next 7 hours of the day. Like that's just multiplying, and our screen time's just adding up, and it's just getting worse, honestly.
Just somewhat like normalize my schedule. My parents have been like not forcing me, but they've been like telling me like wake up, like at least an hour before school starts, take a shower and like eat breakfast to at least normalize, because when I go next year, it's gonna be harder, and shifting is gonna be so much harder. So they're like, just get used to that now, at least, because we're already waking up much later than we're supposed to.
Yeah.
So they're just telling me get up on time and stuff. And I know it's different for a lot of people, because a lot of my friends, they literally wake up like 2 minutes before Zoom and like join.
Yeah, same. Literally same. I wake up at 7:38 and I don't even get up from my bed. The thing is, my Chromebook is literally in the chair in front of my bed, so I just move a little, open my Chromebook, and the Chromebook's on my chair, and I do school like literally 1 minute after I wake up, So I it's gonna be hard when school starts, because I have to wake up like 2 hours earlier, and I can't do school from my bed,
Yeah, definitely. Because I feel like, honestly, in the beginning of the year, I was like the same as Movie, and I used to like wake up like a couple minutes before class and just like get my Chromebook. But like for the past couple weeks, I've been putting my Chromebook on my desk, so I could at least get out of my bed and like at least sit on my chair to do my class, because it just feels so wrong, and I feel like I'm like cheating school, even though I'm kind of not, but I'm like flying through it, and it's just been weird, honestly. It's just, yeah.
Yeah, for me personally, I definitely think virtual school is much more to my comfort, but I just wanted to like say that I feel like it's been affecting my mental health more, like in a bad way, compared to like 8th grade, because I don't know, I just feel like in 9th grade my parents are letting me be more like, they're giving me more freedom, because I'm older now, they expect me to do things on my own. So like sometimes they stay up till 12 a.m., 1 a.m., because not because I get so much work. It's not like my teachers are giving me 50 assignments, like 50 tests. It's just that I procrastinate a lot. And yeah, I just wanted to know if that was the same case for you guys.
Yeah, literally same. I procrastinate. I mean, it's debatable, honestly. I think I do procrastinate, but I am trying. Actually, no. You know what? I don't procrastinate that much anymore, because what I've learned, like over quarantine, I've been able to improve myself, and so part of improving myself was procrastination, and that's always been my biggest issue. So like obviously once in a while it does happen, I do procrastinate, because some things I truly just don't have time for, but most of the time I'm able to like stop my procrastination habit,
Yeah, and also like I feel like, yeah, I definitely have an issue with procrastination, but like as I like for the past couple of weeks, I've been trying to like better myself, and so I've been trying to do the little things that I've been trying to like do certain things that I've not been able to do in the past, like procrastination. I'm like kind of working on it, and I feel like the reason I like procrastinated so much is because in the past when I did procrastinate, I was still able to get that assignment in, and so I feel like if I procrastinated and I never was able to turn the assignment in on time, I would stop. But the reason I've been doing it is because it's been working, and so now I've been trying not to procrastinate as much for the past couple weeks, and it's been like I feel like I've had so much more time on my hands, which I'm like, what am I supposed to do? I can't go outside, like just go to the mall or something, I can't do that. And so I've just been on my phone, so I go back on my phone, just my screen time just increases,
Yeah, definitely. But I just wanted to say that like I feel like my sleep schedule, I've kind of normalized it a little bit now. Like the latest I'm sleeping is like 11ish kind of.
Yeah.
But before, like at the beginning of the year, I feel like with school and stuff, especially in the district we live in, my screen time and my sleep schedule was so messed up, because I would join like so many clubs and stuff, because I thought that was the only way you were supposed to quote unquote succeed in high school. But I mean, I definitely like now I understand that that's not like the good direction to go in. But in the beginning of the year, it was so like, yeah, that was kind of me. But like, what do you guys think about that?
Yeah, so definitely. I think in the beginning of the year, I was not even the beginning of the year, like from middle school, I had this idea that when I entered high school, I had to take all the clubs that I could, and like take everything that just take everything, like just to tell people that I took certain things. And so I realize like now that I'm like almost done with 9th grade and I'm still going through it, I feel like sometimes I just do certain things just to satisfy other people. And honestly, and I realized how toxic that was almost. And so like for my mental health. And so I realized just to like kind of make everyone around you kind of disappear and just focus on what you want to do, and you'll realize how much better you're doing and how much more you're getting done because you're just focusing on the things that you actually enjoy, and you're able to progress in those certain things.
Exactly. Like I in the beginning was like, oh my god, so many people are doing so many clubs, maybe I should join some, and I did. I quit a bunch of those clubs because I realized, why would I do them if I'm not interested in them? Why would I do the clubs?
Yeah, why am I doing those? Yeah.
Exactly. Like one, for example, Model UN. I have literally zero like interest in Model UN or even Model Congress, and I didn't join those clubs, but like the fact I was considering it because other people were, maybe would look better on me. But like I'm really glad I didn't, because I really do not. I don't want to have any interest in that club.
Yeah, definitely. Because I feel like that's just what you get sucked into. Like when you're like, and the fact that we're as like we're 6th graders and we hear everyone around us like high school is such a big thing, and it is. I'm not saying that it isn't, but like take it easy on yourself. Like you have the rest of your, like, I'm not telling you to like fail out of your class. I'm not saying that, but like just like breathe, you know, and do what you like, and you'll be fine.
Yeah, no, definitely. Adding on to what you guys are saying, I think a good way to end this podcast off is probably to give advice to our past selves. So if you guys had the chance to do that, what would you guys tell your past selves? Like advice?
Yeah, I definitely say, like, as I said before, just focus on yourself, and like kind of make everyone around you like kind of disappear, because if you're just like, if you like look at it from a bigger picture, like if you're just gonna spend your time like not and looking to the people to your left and right and just watching them progress, and you're just kind of wasting time, you know. And if you use that time just focusing on yourself and just moving forward, you realize how far you've gotten, you know. So that's what I'd say.
Yeah, I would give like such similar advice to myself in the past. A problem I've always had is comparing myself, and you know, comparison is truly the thief of joy, because like if you always look back, how are you going to move forward, you know? And like my mom says, she always says, the only person you should ever try to be better than is who you were yesterday. You should always focus on improving yourself. And I know it's hard to like stop comparing, but you should seriously do your best to not compare yourself, because like who cares about what other people think? Who cares what other people are doing? It truly matters. Like I know that sounds so corny, but it's really the truth. And I always heard this. I'm like, ew, why would I do that? Why would I do that? But like now I really understand that you should really not compare yourself. Better yourself. Focus on yourself, because you know there is always going to be someone better than you.
Yeah.
There's always going to be someone better than you. Like as much as you want to change that, most likely there's going to be someone better than you. So
also, like, the advice that we're preaching is sometimes hard because we're high schoolers and we're going through it every day. Like, it's hard for us to like listen to our own advice sometimes. So it's like, yeah, it's important that we listen to our own advice. And
like a few days ago, actually, I had this issue. Sometimes I like, it's not by choice. Sometimes I just compare myself, and then I'm usually able to stop myself, and
you kind of have to retract. And
it's something you should do yourself, because I know we're human beings. It's bound to happen, but we should always do our best to prevent that, you know? And if it does happen, redirect yourself.
Yeah. Lavina, the quote your mom told you, that's such a beautiful quote. And I want to like say something, and it's gonna sound so cliche, but I feel like what I wish I told myself before was do what you love, because I'd always, like you guys mentioned this before too, in the beginning of high school I'd force myself to do stuff I don't like doing. But then like recently, like a couple of days ago, I learned that no, you shouldn't do that, because am I really going to be happy doing something I don't want to do? I don't want to spend 4 years of high school doing something I don't want to do, because high school only happens once. And you know, I'm not saying like just fail high school, like don't do what you love and do it well. That's what I would tell myself.
And I think that's great advice. And I think that's a great way to wrap up this episode. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we really appreciate it.
Be sure to join us again next week.
Bye.